I've been playing sports and cooking food my entire life. Now I want to take you on an incredible journey to meet some outstanding athletes, try some awesome recipes with a side of tantalizing conversation. I'm Jen Heasley. This is Jen Heasley's Cooking with the Pros. So, who do you want in your kitchen on game day? Welcome to Jen Heasley's Cooking with the Pros, and I'm going to share my awesome menu with you for today. I have some Southwest shrimp with a side of corn tortillas, and then we're going to move into our entree, which will be some chicken enchiladas with a homemade green tomatillo sauce, sided with some white rice and some black beans. And my guest is Billy Cundiff of the Baltimore Ravens, and he knows his Southwest food. So just remember, who do you want in your kitchen on game day? So not everyone's had the opportunity to have lived in 9 different cities, played in the NFL, the opportunity of having a lot of different flavors of food, but Billy Cundiff, who has taken his stardom from undrafted free agent to Pro Bowl to Madden NFL, has had that lucky opportunity. And he is here with me today, and he's going to join me in my kitchen. And he's very excited to prep some appetizers from his Southwest, well, not roots, but that's where he is now.
You can consider my roots. I was born in Arizona.
Oh, you were born in Arizona. We didn't even talk about that. So you were born in Arizona.
Exactly. But before I started moving around the NFL, I've also lived in 3 different places just growing up.
Oh, okay. All right, well, we're going to talk about what we're doing first for the apps, and then we'll get into Billy's very extensive career in the NFL. Billy is going to cut up some corn tortillas.
Okay, perfect.
He's going to cut them into little cubes, little squares, and I'm going to be prepping our shrimp for our Southwest shrimp. And all I have, Billy, oh goodness, all I have is some shrimp that I get from the frozen section, because it's much quicker than having to deal with deveining and peeling and all that, and it's going to take us about 3 minutes to even cook the shrimp.
Perfect.
Okay, so you chop up, and then you're going to place this in our oil. Okay, we're going to a little sizzle. Ooh, yay. All right, so talk to me about life in Arizona and how you moved around as a child.
Well, first off, I was, when I was born in Arizona, you start to think about it, it's pretty crazy that I actually was only born about 10 miles from where my wife was born, not even knowing that.
Are you serious?
Yeah, so it's a pretty unique situation there. My dad, he ended up switching jobs, so he moved to Southern California.
Okay.
And I lived there kind of some pretty influential times in my life. So I grew up doing track and playing basketball and playing soccer growing up, kind of spending a lot of time outdoors, going to the beach. And then my dad got a quote-unquote job promotion. Okay. And so the company he was working for was based out of a small town in Iowa. Right. And so that's why we moved to Iowa. So you moved to Iowa. All right, let me tell you real quick what we're going to put in here. You asked me before what this is. So sazon is a very common flavor, I think, as you know, in like Southwest Latin style cooking. So when this is about a ½ pound of shrimp, so I put 1 packet of this in. And I also season it with some adobo. And this is a seasoned salt, which is a little different than your traditional because it includes like cilantro, cumin, and turmeric, things like that. They're not in regular seasoned salt. All right, so continue. So you're in Iowa. So I moved to Iowa, and it's probably a culture shock more so for my mom than maybe the kids, because kids are pretty resilient. Exactly. You can just deal with whatever you kind of have thrown at you. Right. So so as I'm growing up there, I'm just doing what every other kid does in Iowa. Kind of especially every boy, you grow up wanting to play sports and really just have fun during the summer doing that. So I want to be like my older brother. Okay. He was a quarterback and a kicker on the football team. Right. He was a guard in basketball. He was a high jumper. Oh, awesome. Played soccer. So I did all those things throughout high school. Followed in his footsteps. Just followed in his footsteps. Right. You want to take those out and throw them on our paper towel. Okay. So after you fry your tortillas, you take them out, you throw them on the paper towel, let them drain off, and then Billy's going to throw a few more in. Then immediately you want to sprinkle the salt. We have a salt, pepper, garlic salt seasoning to kind of lock the flavors into your tortillas. Okay. So you do that right away. There we go. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so from your, I guess, youth, you started playing at a very young age, and then you moved into high school, you played football, basketball, and you ran track. Correct. So in high school, I was able to play varsity for 3 years. Okay. Was lucky enough to be all-state 3 years as a kicker. Oh, wow. But it was one of those things I was good at kicking, yes, but it wasn't what I wanted to do. So I wanted to be a quarterback. So I played quarterback for 2 years. Okay. That was kind of what I hung my hat on in high school. Right. And I was fortunate. The high school I went to were really good in football. So I got exposed to winning at a young age, which
exactly.
it really is a culture. My high school coach, he's been coaching now for 33 years, and he has over 90% winning percentage.
That's awesome.
Like when I was a freshman in high school, the varsity team didn't make the playoffs. And it was the first time in 18 years that they had failed to qualify for the semifinals or better.
Oh wow!
They had 18 straight years where they made the semifinals or better, and it was a big deal in our small town.
Yeah.
And so my sophomore year responded. We won the state championship. My junior year, we only made the semifinals, and then my senior year, we won a state championship. So this idea of winning in football really caught on, and I didn't think I wanted to do it in college because I wanted to play basketball.
Okay.
I had that was my dad's from Kentucky, and so in my house,
Kentucky connection.
Exactly right. Basketball is huge.
It's all clear now. Okay.
And so that's in the summer I would always play basketball, football and track and all that, and soccer. They kind of took a backseat to basketball.
Right. Okay. So we're going to come right back. We're going to finish up our appetizers. We're going to pull together the tortillas, the shrimp. We're going to show you how we're going to plate it with some salsa, and then we're going to move on to our entree, which will be some enchiladas, rice, and some black beans. So we will be right back. And Billy, we're going to be cooking with the pros. Okay, so Billy and I are back now. We've had our appetizer, and we're going to work on our entree, which is going to be the chicken enchiladas. And the reason we've chosen this is because this is Nicole, which is Billy's wife's go-to recipe.
Yeah, this is the one that if she asked me if I want something to eat, kind of if we're going to have people over, and this is normally what I'm going to ask for.
Okay, so Billy is going to be chopping some chicken breast. Now you could easily go and get a rotisserie chicken and just shred it, hand shred it, which of course is much quicker and easier if you're having company and you want to do this really quick. But I just basically roasted off some chicken breast yesterday with the same spices, the sazon and adobo that I put onto the shrimp. So Billy is going to be working on that. And I'm going to be working on the green sauce that I'm actually going to make into some sour cream that we're going to mix with the chicken when we put into our flour tortillas.
Nice.
Okay? So what you would do to prepare your green sauce is you would roast. Now this is a tomatillo, and you can see it has like a little husk. Look how cute that is. And Billy's familiar with these, so he knows what this is. So you peel them off, and then you rinse off like a little waxy outer covering, and then it ends up looking like this. I prefer to use a habanero chili. This is a habanero chili, and a serrano chili or poblano chili. And then you also roast some garlic and some onion. And then you roast them for about 30 minutes at a 350-degree temperature.
Perfect.
Tossed around with a little olive oil and salt and pepper, okay? And we're going to puree that with some cilantro and some honey. But Billy and I actually want to talk about how we initially met. A couple weeks ago, I had the opportunity to go down to the Baltimore Ravens training facility and interview Tennille Moore and Nick Goff. And Nick is the head chef for the Baltimore Ravens facility, and Tennille is responsible for the food services. And what I didn't know even going into it was that they even have a training table at the professional level.
Yeah, it's a pretty unique situation here in Baltimore. There's only a few other teams that have it. And the only reason I know that is because I've been to so many different teams.
So therefore he has experience.
Yeah, because if you look at like when I was in Dallas, they outsourced it. They bring in, it was different places, different restaurants are bringing food at different times. And a lot of it was more of what guys wanted to eat, not what they should eat.
Right.
And at least in Baltimore, what they do is they rather bring those two together. So they serve food that people would want to eat, but also has a lot of nutritional value.
Right.
It's not, we would have on Fridays, and when I was in Dallas, some soul food they'd bring in, and there wasn't a single thing that wasn't fried. And
I'm not a fan of fries.
But it was one of those things that it's like if you're trying to watch what you eat,
exactly.
You can fry some food and have it still be reasonably healthy, but when you're having fried cat food, or fried catfish, which tastes like cat food, I guess. Then you had like some like mac and cheese that was done up. I mean, just it was one of those things that it's really over the top.
Right.
And at least in Baltimore, they're able to strike that balance.
Yeah, I mean, I felt Tennille and Nick really make a conscious effort to focus on dietary restrictions, being cognizant of what just what's necessary for a professional athlete. That's what I got out of the whole interview.
It was, and they do a great job because you can go in there and tell them what you can't eat. So there's a lot of guys that can get blood tests done for food sensitivities. So you can go in there and tell them what your sensitivities are, and they're able to cater food for you, which is really important, especially if you're trying to take your game to another levels. Because as guys go through the league, they start to realize the more they take care of their body, the more their body take care of them.
Exactly. Well, they were awesome. I mean, I thought they were really awesome people, and the whole facility is beautiful. Billy is very lucky to be working with the Baltimore Ravens. The facility was beautiful. So
it's true. It's one of the best in the league.
Yeah, we had a great day. So, all right, Billy's going to keep chopping. I'm going to show you. So this is what we would do. Again, we would roast these in the oven at 350 degrees, and this is actually what the final. Now, it kind of looks a little crazy on the tray, but this is what your roasted vegetables end up looking like. Okay, and we're going to actually puree these with some cilantro and some honey, and then we're going to fold it into the sour cream. So to avoid the noise, we're going to puree these. We're going to come right back and show you how we're actually going to put together the tortillas, and then you would side with some black beans and some white rice, which is very traditional Southwest. Am I correct?
Very traditional.
I'm hitting the nail on the head today. So we'll be right back with Jen Heasley's Cooking with the Pros. I'm here with Pro Bowler Billy Cundiff, so come right back. Okay, so we're back to assemble our chicken enchiladas. Billy has done an outstanding job chopping the chicken, and I've pureed our green sauce for the chicken enchiladas. Tell them how nice it smells.
It smells good.
It's outstanding. So I'm going to actually blend the green sauce with some sour cream, and then Billy is going to fold the chicken into that, and then he will start assembling our chicken enchiladas. All right, now that you've been here in Baltimore, you've had the opportunity, number one, to go to the Pro Bowl as the kicker, and he has also had that really, I think, exciting opportunity to do the Taste of the NFL. Can you explain what the Taste of the NFL is?
Yeah, the Taste of the NFL is a unique event in that it pairs up a chef from the town that you're playing in. So there's 32 teams, means 32 chefs and 32 players. So it's past players and current players are teamed up. So it just depends on what the situation is that year, because once you get involved with the event, then you're going to do it as long as you want. So sometimes there'll be a current player because somebody that was a former player decided to pass on the event, so then they team up a new guy.
Okay.
And it's a great environment because they also will take, depending on the location, they'll take a local chef. Okay. So when we were in Texas, they took from North Texas, the Dallas area, they took a bunch of the really high-end, or I guess you would say highly rated chefs, to prepare dishes that were unique to the area. So we're looking at a convention center that's filled with, I don't know how many people, but I think it was over 1,000, and it was a really, really big event, and it was amazing. The food was as diversified as the places in which where it came from.
But the beauty of it is what the cause is for hunger in America.
That's exactly right. So they're raising money for food banks, local and nationally. And then they're just what they're also doing is getting people to be a little more aware. And I think that's a really important thing, because most of these people have the means to pay for this event, and so they're able to kind of tug on the heartstrings a little bit and get people to take a moment out of their life and really think about something much bigger.
Right, because you're in a position where you're fortunate, and it really is important to give back.
It really is.
Right. That's All right, so Billy is now going to fold the chicken into the sour cream mixture, and then he's going to also begin to assemble. And there's one other thing that Billy and I wanted to touch base on. When we were at the Ravens training facility, I did have the opportunity to meet his wife, Nicole, and when we were having our conversation kind of off film, she was explaining to me that you guys really went through a difficult time with her mother, and she suffered from ovarian cancer. Right,
and so she's technically, I guess she still has it today, because you're looking at her maintaining what they consider our maintenance chemo right now. So it's not like we're out of the woods.
Yeah.
It's a pretty difficult situation with ovarian cancer. A lot of the women that she's actually gotten to know that have ovarian cancer or had ovarian cancer have passed away. So it's been a really difficult situation. You start to see that they need more money for research. They can help for the women that are actually going through their chemo right now, better drugs to help hopefully cure the disease. And they need more early detection. They really need it, because there's a lot of women that don't understand the symptoms, and that was one of the problems with Nicole's mom. She was really bloated. She felt like, and she just didn't feel right, but it's kind of one of those things that maybe she didn't eat. Maybe she ate something that didn't sit well with her. Right. And then as she started to go through these symptoms with a family friend who was a doctor, he said, we need to get you in right away. And come to find out that on both of her ovaries, a tumor had grown, and they'd grown together, so it was about the size of a Nerf football.
Oh my goodness.
So it was really intense at first. The doctor, the diagnosis they were giving us didn't really look that good. So they had to go in, remove the tumor first, and they were able to get down to microscopic level, and then from there, then they did a bunch of chemo. And the first 2 years were really, really hard, because at the time when she was diagnosed, I had just got released from the Falcons. Nicole was 6 months pregnant. She had just taken the bar. So there was a lot of life going on.
Right.
And then this helped us to stop and put it all in the right perspective.
Exactly. Okay, wow. All right. Well, Billy and I are going to discuss that a little bit more. We're going to touch base. I've already prepared our baking dish. The baking dish, I just put some regular salsa on the bottom. And typically, I think, you know, in the Southwest, they have what they call the Christmas sauces, where they have the red sauce and the green sauce. And kind of that's what we're doing today. I did not prepare my own red sauce, but I did prepare the green sauce. So Billy and I are going to roll the tortillas into the enchiladas. So you place the chicken in the center, and then you roll it like a cigar, and you place it seam down into your baking dish. And then we're going to cover it with a ton of cheese, because a ton of cheese is very important for any enchilada. Am I correct?
Excessive amounts of cheese always is the hallmark of Mexican food.
So basically, I'm letting Billy do all the hard work in preparing the chicken enchiladas, but he has clearly gotten his rhythm going. Don't you agree?
I appreciate that, yeah. I'm in a groove.
He's a skilled enchilada roller, definitely. But Billy and I want to discuss a little bit more, though. His mother-in-law, dealing with ovarian cancer, of course, is in remission at this juncture, and he and Nicole have, I guess, discussed or thought about trying to start some type of a fundraising effort in the Baltimore area to bring awareness.
Yeah, we would like to. We've been involved in numerous other activities here in Baltimore, and we want to make something that's truly unique to our situation. Yeah. So using the platform that we have with the Ravens, hoping that we can start something, and we'd like it to be catered around food, because it seems like it not only is it something we enjoy, right, but I think it brings people together, and it also gives Baltimore its unique identity. Exactly.
No, I agree. I mean, definitely a lot of times, the events that I've been to that are for a cause and it revolves around food, you're definitely going to draw a larger crowd. That's what I've personally experienced. And now that we know that Billy's a great cook, he's probably going to be one of the lead cooks for the...
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. I'm more of a, I more go up the recipe. So I try to stick to the recipe.
Okay, that's
I'm like a good husband, right? I stick to the directions.
Exactly, stick to the directions, the path that's been given.
That's exactly right, don't vary.
Do not deviate, okay. So Billy's gonna roll this up. The main thing, again, on the enchiladas, outside of the great green sauce that we've made and the chicken and all that fun stuff, a lot of cheese is extremely, extremely important. So this is essentially, all I have is just a store-bought taco, nacho, shredded mixed cheese. Again, if you'd like to get your own separate cheeses and shred them, knock yourself out. I'm all about more of the simple process for something like this, and we're just going to throw a bunch of the cheese on top. And you would actually put this in an oven at 350 for about 30 minutes until the cheese is nice and gooey on top. And then we're going to actually also add, once they're completed, a chipotle sour cream for just one more layer of heat on top of our enchiladas. So nice and spread them out. And we will also add a little more salsa once they're completed as well. So this is what your enchiladas are going to look like before you put them into the oven, and they'll be nice and gooey when they're done. So are you excited?
Looks good.
It looks great. So Billy and I will be right back on Jen Heasley's Cooking with the Pros. So I'm pretty sure that many of you know the traditional sides for any Southwest dish are black beans and white rice. So I'm just going to whip this together really quickly for you to decide with our enchiladas. You're just going to do regular white rice, and you're going to add a little olive oil, a little butter, and a little salt, a little pepper. It's just 2 parts to 1 part. 2 parts water, 1 part rice. That's that simple. You bring it to a boil, you turn it down to medium-low, and you cover it and simmer for about 20 minutes. Very simple. So I've started my rice already. It's boiled, and I'm going to turn it down, and I'm going to let it simmer under lid. The key for the black beans, you're going to saute together some chopped up white onion, some green pepper, and some garlic. And you're going to let them saute for about 20 minutes. Let them saute for about 10 minutes till they're tender, till they're soft. And then you're going to drain off. Now, if you choose to let your beans rest overnight in some water, soak overnight, that's certainly up to you. But it's just as simple to get 2 cans of black beans and throw them in with a little bit of water, a little bit of actually apple cider vinegar, and some oregano. If you want to throw some sugar in, because that's kind of also a common thing, you can. I choose not to, but I definitely am down with the apple cider vinegar. So I have my beans drained off. I'm going to toss them into my pot. And then I'm going to add my apple cider vinegar. And I'm going to add a little bit of oregano. And then you're going to add about a ½ cup of water to 2 cups of beans. Now, as your beans are simmering, and if you see that they start to stick a little bit, of course you just want to add a little more water, because you certainly don't want them to stick to the bottom, but you want them to get to an almost kind of mushy consistency, almost to the point where if you had a little masher, you could mash them into like a refried bean, basically. So you let these simmer for about 20 minutes, and then you top them with the rice and your enchiladas. So we'll be right back. I'm going to show you a tequila sunrise, the ultimate drink for the enchilada Southwest dish. So come right back, Jen Heasley's Cooking with the Pros. Okay, so Billy and I are back, and we are now, well, he's about to sample our hard work for the day.
I'm excited.
He is excited. So he did the rolling on the enchiladas, and I prepared our sides, some rice and some black beans. And now he's going to let me know if my enchiladas really mimic and replicate his Southwest roots. That's a yes.
That's really good.
Thank you. I'm assuming that it does. So
I'll just keep going if you let me.
You keep going, but I'm really happy that you came today. You're awesome. You've been a great guest.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you having me on.
I'm so happy you could come. So send Nicole our love from Cooking with the Pros.
I most definitely will.
Hopefully we'll see her soon in the near future, and take care, and I will be with you soon.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Keep eating.
Oh, I will.
All right. Take care. See you soon. So with any fiesta party, you definitely want to have a drink that has some tequila in it. And I'm going to make the traditional, one of my favorite tequila drinks, a tequila sunrise, and it's very easy. It's so simple. You're going to take some tequila, and I like to go with the free pour myself as opposed to maybe a shot glass. Usually a shot is technically like a count to 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So that's my tequila. You want to use a gold tequila. And then you're going to throw in some orange juice. To your liking, maybe a little more. There we go. And then you're going to top it with grenadine. Now, grenadine it's non-alcoholic, but it's very sweet. But it gives us a nice, pretty effect color-wise. And I'll drizzle it in. There you go. Look how pretty that is. That's awesome. So pretty. All right, so I have my perfect drink for my perfect day. I've had great recipes. I had an awesome guest. Billy Cundiff is wonderful, wonderful guy. Great city of Baltimore. A real true Pro Bowler. And here we are, Jen Heasley's Cooking with the Pros. Just remember, who do you want in your kitchen on game day? Cheers. And I will definitely see you soon.